This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. We should tell you from the outset
Yes.
that the code word for Flyaway Fridays is
Bintang.
bintang.
Yeah, okay.
Bintang.
Cold bintang. I could taste it now.
So when we ask you on Friday to call and give us the code word, that's the code word you need. Bintang.
Bintang.
Bintang. On today's podcast, though, the Prime Minister dropped by.
You know, it was really interesting chatting to him today, Nat, and you asked the question about being at the papal...
Yeah, the Pope's funeral.
Yeah.
Yes. So the funeral of the last Pope and the inauguration. Is that the word? I'm not sure.
And also, and having conversations with him. It was
Amazing.
really interesting.
Yep.
I mean, the politics stuff, I couldn't care less for. But that stuff was really
But the Holy
interesting.
Father, you're right
The
up for it.
Yeah. We spoke about
Bless you.
that.
God
Yeah.
bless.
And also shoeies with him, so covered it all.
Yeah.
Who else do we have on? Jordan Lewis. We were talking AFL with Jordan earlier this morning as well.
And we talk about getting lost. Our producer Amy went on a fun outing with the kids where they went on a bit of a bushwalk, turned into a longer bushwalk than they anticipated, and also her husband uttering the phrase, "We're not lost, we just don't know where we are."
I love I'm going to use that.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean on Nova 937.
It's 6:04, Nathan, Nat and Sean.
What did you
And
just
Ross.
say to me off air?
And
The last thing.
Morning.
Great to see you, Ross.
No, you did not. You called me
Massive loser.
because I had to work all weekend.
Oh, that sucks.
Always like Friday and
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
And then kids, which doesn't count.
Sunday and Monday. Monday?
Yeah.
Not Sunday,
What day is it?
Monday.
Tuesday.
It is No?
Yeah? Yeah, it
Tuesday.
is Tuesday. Actually, Shawnee, how was the Frio Derby? Because it was wet that day. How'd it go?
Yeah, super wet yesterday for everybody who was out and about, and it really bucketed down. So they played the Colts, which is the under-18s, I guess. They played them as the last game of the day rather than the league footy.
Yes.
So that didn't start till 4 o'clock, and that's when it absolutely belted down. Like, the kids couldn't see the ball.
That's the worst playing footy in that. I mean, I'm going back 20 years when I was on the bench. But when it was raining...
It's hard from the bench because you can't see the other side of the ground, Ross. So what's happening?
As a pro football...
And you get chilly because you're not running around.
You're not moving much, are you?
Yeah, you need a blankie.
Yeah. Like Shawnee.
Yeah, I did, Blanky. Oh, when I was sitting there, Megan's going, "Oh, do you reckon they've got change of clothes for the boys? You know, can they change their socks and jumpers?" I'm going, "This is community sport.
And
they
also,
don't have $1.
What difference would it make? They literally walk back out again and be wet again.
Yeah.
So she's like running on with the mum. Oh, he's getting a chill.
Yeah, for sure.
Bless.
Mums.
Did they win?
They won. Yeah,
Okay,
they
good.
won.
Good. That's all that matters.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
The weather yesterday, we're not used to it, right? And I know this has been ongoing, and you've been
And
able
we
to
knew-
look forward to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, most
we
of
knew
this
it was
week.
coming. We knew it was coming. We'd been talking about it, that there was some big rain afoot.
Yeah,
And then there was.
there
And
certainly was.
You were at the footy yesterday.
Yeah, so the Colts, East Fremantle, South Fremantle, didn't start until 4 p.m.
So
the
after
league
the
game
main
was
game,
earlier.
yeah.
And that's when it absolutely bucketed down. But
Yeah.
a lot of people were out and about, and so it was funny to see around the ground, a lot of kids, they just ran out in the rain. They were just going
Just
for
I
know
just
it.
don't
their
care.
time.
They like
Do they?
it.
Yeah.
Your kids out in it?
No, we didn't yesterday, but last time there was a big downpour. My wife sent me photos of Ollie at our local park. He was in his undies with a friend just sliding through mud puddles.
I mean, how much fun, to be
Kids,
fair.
they're
And then
crazy.
you just go home and dry off. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's
You're
no
fine.
big deal. There was one part that was really funny because it's my mother-in-law's birthday today.
Yes.
And we caught up yesterday at the South Beach Hotel and that. So you know
Great
where that
spot.
is compared to Fremantle. It's maybe like a 2K walk.
Yeah.
And I left the league game to go and see her and my wife and
Yeah.
the family. And my sister-in-law, she's awesome, Paula. She's really hard on the kids sometimes, which is brilliant because they're always on their phones, right? She goes, "Right, that's it, you kids, get off your phone, start walking to the ground," even though everyone had drove.
Yeah.
And that's when it started raining.
So she made them walk from South Fremantle into Central Fremantle in the pouring rain.
Yeah, well, it wasn't completely pouring that way. She was like, "No, I don't care. Get moving. You guys have been sitting down all day on your phones. You're going to get moving."
Character building
which is
stuff.
great. She's great like that.
Yeah.
And then they started going, and I think Lachlan's girlfriend ended up picking them up somewhere along the path. to make-
Bedraggled children making their way down South Terrace.
That's good, but they don't care, I guess.
I mean, the thing about pouring rain, and it is going to be raining heavily today and tomorrow as well, is when when you're stuck in it and you're drenched, and when you feel the first drip go down your butt crack, where you go, well, that's it. I'm wet now. Like, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Like, you just totally surrender to it then, don't you? I mean, when you've got a dog that needs walking, my dog doesn't care if it's pouring with rain.
Yeah, so, is he happy to just go walking around?
100%. And he just looks at me like, well, we're going. It's like, if he had, like, it's like he taps his wrist.
Yeah.
Like, time to go. Come on, let's go. And it's like, there I am in my raincoat, my rubber boots, the whole deal. And he doesn't care. He's like running around like he's having the best time ever. And I'm just like literally trudging around.
Yeah, either that's fine or you're like, nah, I'm not up for it. My wife calls me sugar because I don't like getting wet because I melt like sugar.
I thought it was just a term of endearment, but
No,
sugar, she's
Hey,
calling
honey
you
buns.
really pathetically weak.
Yeah, pathetically weak sugar, which is great when it's dry, but you wet it and it just dissolves.
Did you have to do something in the pouring rain yesterday, or maybe you're going to be out in it today? Like, there's a house being built across the road from me, and I look up and it's like they're working on the roof timbers at the moment. I'm like, are they going to be up there in the pouring rain doing that too?
Well, with steel caps on, I wouldn't have thought so. That wouldn't be a good bit of...
Chloe's at Alkmaar. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Chloe.
Chloe, what did you have to do in the pouring rain?
So it wasn't even just this weekend. It was probably about 15 years ago when we had the really, really bad rainfall. Being little kids, you don't have much to do, and being in a little street with all the other kids, you try and figure out as much as you can. So we had a little flood down the road where the drains obviously flooded, so we grabbed the pool toys and ended up going for a little swim.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You used a blocked drain as a pool facility.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, that's
but
gross.
You've got to do what you got to do when you're a little kid.
So
Sure.
so you're on the road with pool toys. What type of pool toys are floating around a
The
road?
blow-up ring, I'd imagine.
Flamingo?
Yeah, like literally the rubber rings, the floating little songs. We had literally everything.
Some
Trying to make
pool
as
noodles.
much fun as we could.
Yeah.
Made the most of it. Yeah,
I
get away with
I
it.
guess so.
Yeah, who cares if you get sick?
Opportunistic, but you got to do it.
Yeah,
why
I
not?
agree.
Good on you, Chloe. Thank you. Karina, hello.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Good, Karina.
Karina, were you stuck in the pouring rain?
Yesterday, yes. So I think, Sean was talking about, 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Just after 4, I was out helping my 90-year-old dad pop up some cameras outside of his home. There were 3 of them, but one in particular I had to put up, and his backyard goes up, and there's all these large rocks. So I had to climb up these rocks up to the back fence, and it's one of those colour-bond fences.
Yeah.
And so I'm holding on for dear life. He gave me this really old yellow, those yellow rain jackets?
Yes.
Yeah. It was really old. And so I'm wearing one of those. It doesn't have a hood or anything on it. And I'm up there holding on for dear life. And the beams between the fence?
The beams?
The joiner?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, the joiner. So I'm holding on with one hand to the joiner, and the other hand I've got trying to screw on a camera. All for my dear dad. So he thought nothing of it. He's like, yeah, put them up. I need them up.
You couldn't wait until the pouring rain stopped and maybe do it after 15 minutes, or he didn't think that was an option?
Yeah. No. He didn't think much of it. He's like, yeah, get them up. He's old school. So,
well, that's right.
He's European. Come on, get up there.
Yeah.
He's been around for 90 years so far and still going strong.
He's old school, but he's not going to do it himself.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
The big kahuna in the house, Nat.
Gone straight to the top. Welcome back. For the first time since he was re-elected, the Prime Minister.
Good morning. Yeah, my
Hello.
second trip to WA, though, since the election.
I know, we're a bit
dropped in here.
That you didn't come and say hello
I
to us.
know. Sorry
Were
about
you
that.
down at Gage Roads? That was the...
That was during the last week of the election campaign. And I've got to say, I've been to a few craft breweries in my
It's a good
time.
one, isn't it?
That's not bad, is it?
That is a ripper.
I know, and then just
is
a massive ship
huge.
will go past.
It is huge.
Yeah.
And we got a really good reception there, I've got to say. I was there with Josh Wilson, and we came in and we had with us at that time all the travelling media
Yes,
bus.
the pack.
And they all piled out of the bus. We thought we'll take them there at the end of what was a long day. We started... I forget where we started, to tell you the truth. We flew into Bustleton, though, from somewhere, and then went to Collie, and then went up, dropped into Mandurah and handed out there for a while, and then went to Freo to Gage Roads at the end of the day. You've got to give the journos a bit of reward at the end of the day. But
after a long day for you, did you just devour your first beer?
Well, I at the time, of course, was zero alcohol, so they have a good zero alcohol beer that they didn't have it on
Yeah,
tap.
Boy, I think, by the name of it.
So you went zero alcohol all through the campaign. Is that what you did?
Well, from January 1.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
So just part of the discipline
What about now?
that you do.
Not anymore then?
No. The lid's off, you know.
Now,
but
we should talk about your victory because
still pretty modest, but it was great.
Yeah.
But I pulled beers there,
Yeah.
and that was pretty good. I'm not sure that the owners were happy though, because I pulled beers, gave them to punters, and of course didn't take money.
No.
Yeah. Freebies.
Because, you know,
what are they going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
What are they gonna do?
They got the PM pulling beers. So, you know.
Exactly. It's a small price to pay.
It was good fun. They were a great atmosphere, though.
Yeah,
I think it's
a
one of
big
the
spot.
best places I've been to.
Yeah, now, congratulations, because a victory, an election victory that, I mean, 6 months ago was not looking likely at all. The polls had Peter Dutton in front as preferred Prime Minister. But you were very confident. You told us off air, we will win.
Yeah.
And that was early on in the campaign. And you said that with absolute conviction. So what was it that you thought you had the edge?
Because one, we had a plan, and I knew what our plan was. And I think it was very clear to me that the opposition didn't have a plan, didn't have policies, hadn't done hard yards. Peter Dutton had done interviews with just a couple of radio stations and a particular late-night TV network, speaking to the crowd that were always going to vote for him anyway, but weren't talking to Australians about issues that they were concerned about. And that gave me confidence.
Yeah.
He never addressed the National Press Club in the entire time that he was leader of the opposition. He avoided press conferences in Canberra, and they didn't have any alternative policy. They had grievance, they patched in there, and Australians have been doing it tough like people right around the world with global inflation. But I knew that when we pointed out we've done the following on cost of living, cheaper childcare, free TAFE, the energy bill relief, the support that we've given, the tax cuts for everyone, that we could say, we've done this. We recognise people have done it tough, but Peter Dutton opposed everything. Yeah, we get that you've got it tough, but it would have been a lot tougher if the Liberals had had their way. And I think that put us in good stead, and we had a plan for further tax cuts, further relief as well to make a difference to people. We had the 20% off HECS debt, and they were opposing everything.
Yeah.
And so I was always confident that the Australian people would,
well, they did
when they
in a
were faced with the options.
Yeah.
I know what it takes to go from opposition to government. I know how hard I worked. I know how hard the entire team worked to put forward that coherent plan, and I just didn't see it.
It was mixed
from the other side,
really.
Yeah, and the work from home stuff was a mess.
The backflipping
they
on
got
that
themselves in a position of supporting higher taxes, bigger deficits, and having savage cuts. I'm not quite sure how you managed to get those three things, but they did. And on nuclear as an example, nuclear is just an absurd policy for the economy to say we're going to stop the rollout of renewables and we're going to go and give you something that'll give you 4% of Australia's energy needs in the 2040s.
Yeah.
That's not coherent. It doesn't stack up. And if it did stack up, the private sector would invest in it.
Albo, I know it was a big win. I know you said back to work on Monday straight after that.
And I have been.
I know you're working hard, but did you take any time to put your hair down? How did you celebrate after that moment?
I was at my local Rissold, RSL, at Canterbury Helston Park. It was a bit of a loose night from the troops there. There were hundreds and hundreds of people. It was nice. And
So that's when you broke the drought, the no drinking drought?
yeah, absolutely. I had a beer on the night of May 3, but it was nice too because some of the mates that I grew up with in Camperdown, they all came along.
Yep.
So it was wonderful to see.
Did you get a bit loose?
People there? No, because I
shoeies?
had to do. No, none of that. I don't get
Have
the
you done a
shoey
shoey,
thing.
by the way?
No, I don't get it.
Get the shoe.
I don't get it. It's not going to happen. I'm really neat. You've been to
Yeah,
the
I know,
lodge.
but everyone
I'm-
gets caught up in the moment at some
I'm
stage.
really neat. No chance of me ever doing a
shoey.
shoey. None.
All right.
We're going to keep this. I reckon
yes.
at some stage, someone will get you know?
Nah, it's not going to happen.
Daniel Ricciardo might be over at the lodge at some stage and you'll do a shoe with
I
him.
would just find it, disgusting.
You get a new shoe. You can get a new shoe, so it's not.
If it
And
was
then
a
you're
fresh
ruining
shoe.
a shoe.
Or
And-
you're really utilising that shoe for a fun purpose.
It's sacrilege. You know, a beer should be in a glass or a can.
Doesn't have to be
Not in
beer.
a shoe.
Yeah, shoe.
Can be 0% beer.
Yeah.
Oh, even worse.
What's the point
cordial.
of that?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you were just talking, Ross just mentioned back to work for you, which you are. You know, obviously we're noted that there's a few states putting their hand up about the GST situation. Their
As
funding model,
always.
yeah, and I understand they've racked up some serious debts, particularly Victoria and
Sure.
New South Wales. So, how are you going to deal with that?
Well, the thing about the GST is that WA's got its guarantee and that's in place, but there's also no state worse off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're getting what they would have got if
Anyway.
that WA deal wasn't in place.
So they've got
Pretty simple
nothing to
that
complain
way.
about.
Is it
No,
smoke and mirrors? Sorry, Nat. Because it comes up regularly, right?
Yeah.
It comes up regularly. So is it just
It
the state
does,
going,
look.
"Oh, we need to create some noise to take away
look,
from someone's"?
state premiers will always put forward ideas which revolve around a very simple principle. They want more from the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
And Roger Cook, I'll meet with later today. I'm sure he will have a proposal
list.
for more things from the Commonwealth.
Yes.
That's just the way
The
it is.
nature
But
of it,
I get on well with all the premiers and chief ministers. I deal with them respectfully. We have put in place really good agreements on fairer schools funding is a significant one. On skills development over 10 years, we have the domestic family violence packages. That's a $4 billion arrangement that we have with states and territories. We've got a housing deal for 1.2 million homes being built. So over our first term, we were able to really deliver significant reform. There's more to do this term. We've got to nut out a health agreement, further work to do on the NDIS, but we'll get there and we'll get there cooperatively.
Ross was asking you earlier on when you walked in about have you ever slept in and do you have alarms set?
I said I woke up this morning and my alarm went off and I thought Prime Minister's in.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a busy dude.
Absolutely.
What happens if he doesn't set his alarm or he misses his alarm? And you said?
Yeah, no, I've never done it.
Never slept
You've
in.
never slept in. You've never rolled over, turned that alarm off and gone back to sleep.
Never done it.
That's a good Prime Minister right there.
And it's,
Never.
That's why. That's why he's Prime Minister.
Yeah, you get that discipline. Like this morning, I woke up before the alarm, I've got to say,
Well done.
because I'm here in WA, so I'm still on East Coast time.
Yeah, that helps, doesn't it?
So one of the things that I do is I tend to operate on Canberra time, regardless of where I am.
Yeah.
So, the risk of letting your listeners know how nerdy I can be. I was in bed at like 8 o'clock last night,
Yeah, I respect
basically.
Perth time or Canberra time?
Perth time.
Okay.
Perth time. I'm not that nerdy.
Just
you weren't the Lone
checking.
Ranger.
Yeah,
wrong with that.
you guys have the same.
Yeah.
What happens if you just don't turn up?
Well, somebody would ring.
Yeah. We
So
got
one of our-
contingencies.
yeah.
And we'll say, surely you got a detail of many people, when
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got security, but they tend not to. They've never had to knock on the door. I don't know what they do. I'll ask them.
Yeah. Well, you test them out.
What would you do?
Well, you knock on the door. Do they have like a hotel key to your room?
Yeah, I haven't opened a door for 3 years. It's true.
Or driven
It's
a
true.
car, Ross.
Or driven a car. It actually makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they go into a room before I do. They go
as
into
it
a
should
lift
be.
before
You're
I
a world
do.
leader, yeah.
They do all of that. It's all a part of checking.
Yeah.
They do it here. Like, we feel a little bit offended that they're checking that. Are they all good in here?
Oh, yeah. No, they would. They pat you down, do all that.
That was
You
nice.
look like a
Ross asked for
dangerous
that.
fella.
Yeah, he asked for it.
Hey, Albo, the one thing that we did see you do is you went to the Pope's funeral.
I did.
Now,
it was,
talk to us about that.
It was one of the moments of my life.
Yes,
It was
because
just
you are a Catholic.
extraordinary.
So,
And you had that sense of history and St. Peter's Basilica. You know, I went there when I did the backpacking around Europe thing in 1988, a long time ago. And you go to Peter's and you queue up and you go to the Sistine Chapel and you
take
do
a
all
sneaky
that.
photo, even though you're not allowed to.
You do all of that. And this time round, to be there at the inaugural Mass with world leaders sitting there was extraordinary. And St. Peter's is such the church itself, the Basilica, is so big.
Yeah.
And it's just daunting, really. You walk in there. So we had the Mass, and then afterwards I met the Holy Father, Pope Leo. And then...
sorry, Albo, cutting you in there. How do you address him when you met him?
I addressed him as Holy Father.
Yeah, Holy Father, that's what you
And then say, "G'day, I'm Albo."
Fancy a shoey. No.
Well, we then the next day I had one-on-one a papal audience.
Yes.
And there's a whole thing with the Swiss guards and they march and
they've got funny
a whole lot of
outfits
pomp and ceremony and walking through the areas that are obviously private areas there of the Vatican was extraordinary. There's artwork everywhere. There's frescoes. Like it's an extraordinary
amazing experience.
And then we were supposed to meet for 15 minutes was scheduled, and we had 3/4 of an hour.
What are you talking about with the Pope?
We talked about
shooting the breeze.
Everything. We talked about the state of the world. We talked about
You're one of the few people since he's been Pope who's heard him speak English, I imagine, because he did everything in Spanish or Italian.
Well, he did the Mass. He did Spanish, Italian, Portuguese,
amazing,
English. I think he did German as well. He did a whole range of languages.
Yes.
That was inclusive. And that's one of the things that he, following on from Pope Francis, who wanted to modernise the church and make it more inclusive. And so it was an incredible meeting. We discussed everything. I don't think we're allowed to talk about
sport,
all the details.
He's a big sports fan.
He's a tennis guy, as am I. And, we talked about the church. We talked about the election here in Australia, the state of the world, and some of the conflicts that are going on around the world, and what he wanted to do as the leader of the world's Catholics. It was a real honour and a privilege, I've got to say. And I took along my mum's rosary beads.
Oh, good on you. Albo,
and
that's beautiful.
Gave them to him to do a blessing.
Yes.
And I'll never forget him, just us sitting like we are here with him with the rosary beads and giving them a blessing.
That's actually beautiful.
It was a real moment for me.
Do you feel the holiness? I don't know if that's a weird word to say, but you're standing...
Yeah, you feel that sense of, it was a spiritual moment. We talked about spirituality and values and, part of my values of social justice and compassion, and during the election campaign, I think one of the key moments in the campaign was during one of the debates where I said, kindness isn't weakness.
No.
This whole macho stuff that was going on out there, and there's a bit of that now too, the sort of muscling up, that goes on. Kindness and compassion's a strength, and that's part of my values. It's part of what I was raised with by my mum, and through, I guess, that connection with Catholicism and caring about others.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh,
well,
so interesting.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that too.
Yeah,
what an
no,
extraordinary experience.
That was great.
It's always a pleasure to have you back in the house.
You didn't forget us either.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll see you next time.
You will indeed.
Excellent. Thanks, Albo.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Coming off the back of a long weekend, and when you've got a situation like that, you want to make the most of your time, Nat, don't you?
Yeah, well, good parents do things with their families.
Fun stuff.
Fun things, isn't that right, Amy?
Yes, we do.
Welcome to the show, producer Amy.
So yesterday,
Yeah.
we like going for bushwalks, which we do often.
Amy,
Yeah,
you know what
this
the
time
best
of
thing
year.
about walks is, bushwalks in particular? It's cost effective.
Well,
Free.
hence why we go, Sean. Yes, which my husband loves. So yesterday we decided to do it's called Ship Road Walk.
Great enunciation on ship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where you can actually download and like photograph like the walk trail information.
Yep.
Yes.
It also gives you a map.
Whereabouts is this up? I'm guessing the hills
Like
somewhere.
Kalamunda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So part of like the Bibliman track.
Oh, okay.
And all, signposted and stuff like that.
Yes.
So we're like, we'll just do this one. It's only
sounds
distance? It says 3.8 to 4 kilometre walk.
Okay, so the kids won't complain
Yesterday.
too much?
Nah, they're fine. They've done longer, but we're like, the weather dependent. Anyway, I was like, cool, let's get going. And I had the notes on my phone and the map. And sure, it's easy. The first thing, go through the White Gate on Ship Road. Proceed along Ship Road in a northerly direction.
Okay.
Easy.
Simple as. So you're following this long gravel road. Yep, easy. Then it says turn off Ship Road onto the Bibliman track and follow 3 different sign markers. The Kalamunda, and then it tells you which sign markers. So you follow that.
Yeah.
The junction of the Rocky Pool Walk and the Bibliman Track Walk.
Yes.
Turn left and walk up hill following the Bibliman Walk trail signs.
That's
Yes.
I think you can. Yeah, you should. Follow that one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Getting much for me.
Okay.
Sean's lost.
By this stage, we're just following another family in front of us. I'm like, I don't even know what dot point we're up to, right?
Yeah.
Number 4. Okay,
Yes.
riddle me this, Sean.
Right. Oh.
Leave the Bibliman track, which continues off to the right up to George Jensen Park.
Oh, yes, I know where you are.
Instead, continue straight ahead, indicated by the blue trail markers.
Yeah, so don't go to Jorgensen Park. You need to veer off the other way.
That's a bit specific, so you'd think maybe go that way though. So that's a little bit confusing.
Anyway, we're lost.
Yeah.
So that phone, everything's away.
Yep.
A family's wandered off in front of us, and then we've come to this kind of like junction where it's open slather, and you're like, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Because Jorgensen
yes,
Park
to the
it used to be a golf course way back when, so it's got kind
okay,
of,
that
which
makes
is why,
sense,
there's kind of areas, but it's
Yes.
now overgrown. It's a dog exercise area as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, yeah. So it's
Yep.
kind of it's a weird layout, and
Yep.
it's a bit disconcerting because there'll be a clear area, and then you're like, where do we go from
Yeah.
here? But you shouldn't have been there. You should have gone the other way.
Yeah. Well, Alex is like, like,
far
well,
enough.
you tell me, like, you had the map.
Yeah, you
got
were
the
in
thing,
charge.
where were we turning?
Nothing brings a family together like being lost. And the kids, how were they responding?
Okay, so I
Just
think
screaming and running off into the bush.
at this stage it started really coming, like the rain started. So
Fun.
So Alex is on the phone trying to work out where we are, and he's like, put in the Ship Road car park, and I'm like, yep, grabs the phone off me, and he's kind of walking up, then to the left, then back down again to the right. The kids are losing their marbles. Are we lost? Mum, Dad, what's going on?
And
Blah, blah, blah.
what did you say to Are We Lost?
Alex said, we are not lost. We just
Don't know where we are.
which way to go.
That's
You're
lost.
only
It's
lost.
completely
You don't
different.
know where you're going.
Yeah.
We know where we're going.
We know where you're going. That's true. We just don't know how to get there.
The thing is, my concern is I'm cool. I'm like,
Yes.
you know what? The thing is, what concerned me was how long we could potentially be walking to
Yeah.
get back.
Well, the Bibbleman track finishes in Albany, so
Anyway, we kind of like just found this rogue, like off-road trail.
Yes.
So it's not even, there's no markers.
Yes.
You're going down these steep gorges like slate kind of like slippery rocky things. And I'm like, kids, just take it easy. And
Gravity will do most of the work.
we got there and it was only 5K. So
happy days.
Happy days.
You're only supposed to do 4, I think, but it's
Being lost isn't much fun.
so funny though when you're like in hindsight, when you know you're okay, it's all good, right?
Yeah.
Amy was saying this off air how she got lost in this story. Sean, where did you get lost?
Karen up. On Friday.
You're not the first for that to happen.
I'd never been there before. My wife works up there, so I thought I'll go up and see her on Friday.
Nice.
And I was like, what the hell? I didn't know where I was. It's not my home ground,
There's a real trick to Karen up in that when you because there are so many ways you can get into that car park underneath, and then you need to remember which escalator you came up into the shopping centre. But you don't, because you're up and you're like, oh, there's bright lights.
Yeah.
It's all on the shop.
Yeah.
And then you just wander off, and then it's like, oh, God, time to go back to the car. Or, which escalator did I come up? And you're like, was it near the food court? I don't know. Where was it? Was it near David
Did you
Jones?
find
I
your
don't know.
car? Yeah, good luck with that.
Did you just leave your car there and go to Melbourne Mazda and
we
get
did.
another one?
That's exactly what I did. Greg, you know where it is.
All right, we want to know, have you gotten lost? What happened when you got lost? How long were you lost for?
Was it in the bush? Was it in a shopping centre?
Did it
Was
bring the
another
family?
country?
Did it bring the family closer together? Or drive a wedge you've never recovered from? Here's Tracy. Hello.
Good morning, guys.
Hi, Trace.
When did you get lost, Trace?
We went to camping down in Denmark with the adult kids, grandkids, and our younger kids. And I thought, late at night, go with the granddaughter's little lantern torch and the kettle. I'll just go and fill it up near the, the kitchenette toilet block.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's straight ahead. I know where I'm going. But no, 45 minutes later, I'm wandering around with a kettle and a children's lantern, going to other people's tents because I'm thinking, they sound like my grandkids. No.
You got lost in a campground.
Yes.
Oh, Tracy.
All those tents do look the same.
Yeah, but nobody came looking for me.
No.
That's hurtful.
Oh, we wondered where you were, Mum.
Oh, not enough to look for you, but
No.
still, we wondered.
Not enough to look for me. So, but 45 minutes around a camp, I was actually starting to get, quite panicky because I'm like, where on earth am I? I had no idea. Every road looked the same at night time and every tent looked the same.
It's the tent near the tree.
Stuff that, Tracy, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't want a cup of tea that badly. Oh, that's a heartbreaking tale. Thank you, Trace. Jackie's in Leeming. Morning, Jack.
Good morning. How are you?
Great,
Hi, Jackie.
Did you get lost?
We got very lost. We were doing a family holiday. We were driving from San Francisco down to LA along the Big Sur. And we'd heard that further down the track, the road had been blocked off from rock falls or something, so we had to take this other turn called the Nascimento Ferguson Drive.
Whoa,
Never forget. Yeah.
They said it's quite a bit further, but if you don't go that way, you've got to go all the way back up the way you came and go a different way. So we thought, let's give it a whirl. Turned off on this road. It was getting late in the afternoon. We're driving, and these really sharp hairpin bends up with this cliff drop off. It's getting really quite hairy, and there was a few cars behind us and in front of us, and you have to, pull over to right to the edge to let cars go past and things. Then eventually it's starting to get dark. There's not many cars around. There's not many signs, and we thought we're not really sure if we're on the right road, but there hasn't been anywhere that told us to turn off anywhere.
Yeah.
So we just keep going. It's getting pitch black. Our GPS runs out. No phone service, and we thought, well, there's no other way we could have gone. We just have to keep going. Eventually, there's water across the road. We have to get out to make sure it's not like
deep enough so you can get past.
Yeah. Right, we got over that, and then eventually we saw some lights ahead. We thought, yay, we're there. No, it's a freaking army base. There were these armed guards came out to meet us, and they said, "Where the hell are you going?" We go, "Well, we
don't know."
To LA, we're like middle of nowhere. Eventually they kind of pointed us roughly in the direction we needed to go. We eventually sort of made it to the hotel we were meant to be staying at. 3 hours or 4 hours later. It was terrifying. We were literally shaking. It was really quite scary at the time.
Yeah, once the army gets involved.
It wasn't at the time.
Did they have and they armed? They were armed.
Yes.
They were armed.
Yeah,
they
you
literally
lost.
came out and stopped it. Yeah, we were very lost. We were starting to get a little bit Wolf Creek as well.
Yes, of course.
So, middle of nowhere.
Oh,
and
yeah, not for me,
I'm
Jackie.
glad you survived.
Yeah, no one would have known where we were.
No, that's right. That's right. No one would have come looking for you. Thanks, Jackie. Danny from Edgewater, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning,
Hey,
Danny.
Dan. Okay, what happened? Where'd you get lost?
Karen Up Shopping Centre.
Oh, as well. You and Sean just
Mate,
driving
jungle
around.
out there.
For you, Sean.
How did you get lost?
We don't go there very often at all. We're from more north.
Yeah.
And me and my sister thought, we'll go have a sister day out, we'll go shopping, and we'll leave just enough time to get back up to Edgewater to pick the kids up from school.
Sure.
They're all at the same school. Anyway, we get out. We cannot find the car anywhere. We start panicking. Can't find it anywhere. We had to call our mum and get her to go from her house to pick all the kids up from school because we could not find our car anywhere. And then eventually we found the ladies that we were like, I think we parked next to her. We saw her when we parked in and we're like, excuse me, we think we parked near you. She's like, oh, I recognise you guys. So she had to walk us back to our car because we had no idea where we were.
Escorted.
They literally, Karen actually needs to employ somebody whose job it is to help people that have lost their cars. I reckon.
Absolutely. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Yeah,
They
because it
trap
happens
you
to everyone.
Oh, Amy was saying that she did walked around to every car park.
right around the perimeter. I know, amazing.
That's a good thing, that if they
that's
had
right.
that
some sort of
like a car
parking
valet
concierge. I know they do have valet parking for if you're a rich person, but for just the regular person, just you can go up and say, "Help, I'm lost," and then they take you, they hold your hand, and they walk you, and they talk you through where you might have parked, which entrance you came in. They figure it out. They know, or they've got some way of like looking at the cameras, and they can tell you where your car is.
That is a great idea.
Yeah. Get onto it, Karen Up, to save Danny and
Shawnee.
And Sean.
I'm sure we're not the only one.
No, I know you're not the only ones. Thanks, everybody.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast. Summertime Ball.
Oh, yes, Nova's sending somebody to the Summertime Ball in the UK, and they're doing it on a Friday.
Let's hope that's Katrina from Canning Vale. Hi, Katrina.
Hi there. How you going?
Wonderful.
Katrina, this is quite the lineup. Ross, run us through it.
This is just some of it. We don't have all the time. But Mariah Carey, Ben Saboon, Lola Young, Dasher, Jessie J, Rita Ora, Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff, Tate McRae, Miles Smith, Jay, James Hype. There's more and more.
And more.
And more.
We love more. Katrina, what blows your mind about that?
Oh, I need a summer getaway, a holiday, an adventure, everything, all with all the music, be magic.
Yeah, it would be. London.
So good. I know.
I've been there for so
London
long.
in
It's
the
a great
summer.
place.
Yeah.
Hilton,
Right.
London, Kensington Hotel. So you're staying in a great spot, fancy as
Go
well.
see Big Ben.
Yep.
Big Ben
Gorgeous.
Parliament.
I've never seen London. I've never
you've
seen
never
London.
been.
Really?
I've never been.
It's
never
a really
been, no.
when you're walking around, you feel like you're playing like human Monopoly because
Yeah.
all the street names and everything. You go, oh, that's from Monopoly. Oh, that's from Monopoly. It's actually amazing. So, Katrina, you're officially in the running. Good luck, okay? Mel Tracina could be
Thank you
calling
so
you back on a Friday.
Very exciting. Have a great day, guys.
See you,
Thank
mate.
you.
You too. All right, we are out of here. Pab's going to be joining us tomorrow. Tune Raider is back again this morning. Nat from Mayland scored $200, but then she chickened out.
Ooh, I know.
Chickened out.
Win as
She's well
much as
timed. It's not bad.
Yeah.
$500 if you really get into
Yeah,
it.
if you've got the nerve. You've
Back
got to have
yourself.
nerves of steel.
Yep.
Hi, Sam.
Hello, guys. Welcome back after the long weekend. How are you
how good
all?
a long weekend, eh?
Yeah, nice for some. I was working Friday and Monday, so
What a guy.
normal weekend, I guess, for me, but that was still nice. So good to have you guys back into it. I love when you read this lineup out, Ross, for the Summertime Ball. Will Smith, Miles Smith. I like to think they're related, the two. Maybe father-son duo on the day there. That would be a cool crossover, I think.
Yeah,
So
all the Smiths.
yeah, all the Smiths. So yeah, more people
What
on
if
that.
the Smiths were playing as well?
The Smith Band, Smith Street Band. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Could all get together. But nice morning so far. So you guys head out and enjoy.
Yes, before the real hits.
Yeah, before it all sets in later this afternoon.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.